Lead follow-up roadmap. Number one, pre-qualify 100% of your leads 100% of the time. 100% of the time. Remember, condition, timeline, motivation, price. Condition, timeline, motivation, price. We have to pre-qualify. If we don't pre-qualify, we will spend our time having conversations and putting energy into relationships that aren't going to end up being profitable. Pre-qualify 100% of the time to make sure that it is a real lead. Okay? That it's a real lead. Because if it's not a real lead, you have to trash it. Get rid of it. Bad leads hide the good ones. We want to focus on the best leads. What makes a real lead? Let me say this very, very, very clear, because sometimes this gets real confusing. A real lead is somebody that has made the decision to sell their property. That's a real lead. Next, 3x3. All right. As soon as you get this lead in, if it's from marketing, right? Maybe it's from pay-per-click, maybe it's from a text message, maybe it's from direct mail. You want to get on them right away. If you haven't had an initial conversation, you want to get it right away. And if your phone prospector, if you've hired somebody to make the calls for you, sends the lead in 3x3. You want to call that person 3 times. Okay? You're going to leave a voicemail and a text message for 3 straight days. You're going to call them 3 times, text message, voicemail. You don't have to send 3 text message and leave 3 voicemails. Call them 3 times. If they don't answer, every single day, text message, voicemail for 3 straight days. Get them on the phone. If you've picked up the phone and you already know that they're a lead and you've had those conversations, just set an appointment for the next time that you're going to talk. Okay? If you got the lead now and you need to do some due diligence and you want to get back with them or set the appointment or whatever else, then make sure that you have that appointment already set up so that they are ready for when you call them. The likelihood that they'll answer is way, way, way higher. Next is you have to triage your leads. What that means is, I love this word, it's kind of a crazy word. Triage, like if we go to the hospital and I cut my arm off and you have a stomach bug, they're going to treat me first, right? They're going to treat me first. That's your hot leads. So what's a hot lead? It's right here. 7 days. They're going to make a decision. They're going to sign a document saying they're selling their property to somebody in 7 days. That's a hot lead. This is our stalker list. This is the people that we want to be in front of all the time. This is the people that we call first. This is the people that are most top of mind. Right? When we wake up every single morning and we say to ourselves, who is going to sign a contract today? Who is going to sign a contract today? This is who you're thinking about. All right? Now, warm leads are anybody between 7 days and 60 days out. These are warm leads. These are the same as hot leads. They made the decision to sell. They've got rough circumstances. They want to sell it. They just have a longer timeline. Whether they feel like they need to fly out, clean out the property, whether they got to wait for a tenant to get out of the property, whether they need to wait for a probate or inheritance to go through. These are your warm leads, okay? And next is your cold leads. These are people that are way far out there. Right? This is 60 days plus. And we keep cold leads in our system if they're completely destroyed, like the condition of the property is destroyed, because we know that they're going to sell their property at some point. But if you have a lead in your database right now, we all do, that's in good condition, it's not terrible, it's in good condition. You haven't really pulled out the price out of them because they're not really ready to throw out a price yet because they're off in the distance. They're going to sell it. Get rid of them. If they're destroyed, if they need some love, keep them in there because they have one choice. Well, they have 2 choices. Invest a ton of capital and money into their property to get it into retail condition, or sell to a cash buyer. Because conventional banks won't lend on properties that are really rough. They won't. It's too big of a risk. So they have to sell to somebody like us, right? And then the next one is stop the drip. Stop the drip campaigns. If you think a CRM is going to magically convert deals for you, I will beat you like a drum in your market. And there's somebody like me in every single market. because we're going to be proactive. We're going to get on the phone. A human being is going to be reaching out and building a relationship. If you think AI or a computer is going to do the random text for you and the random emails and the random voicemail drops and you're going to get that deal, it's not going to happen. Next is top of lead, all right? Top of the lead. This is really critical. At the top of every single lead you have, I want you to put what your average assignment fee is. When you're looking at your lead, or if it's in your CRM, and if you've never done a deal, put 15,000. So you're looking at that lead. Every time you see that lead, you see 15,000. You see 20,000. You see 51,000 like ours. You see that every time you see that lead, you think you're going to not call that lead? No, because you see the benefits. You see the reward. And next is, remember, 20. If you're cold calling, you're going to get 20 leads to get one deal. You're going to talk to 200 people. 180 of them are going to reject you. 20 are going to say that they want to sell, and one of them is going to work with you. So remember, when you do this deal, you don't have to replace one lead in your pipeline. You have to replace 20. It's never ending. It's a monster. Your lead generation is a monster, just eating these leads all the time, all the time. It needs to be fed, right? So you've got the one deal closed, but you need to replace it with 20. Now, if you're doing marketing, it's more like 5 to 1, 5 leads to 1, because it costs a lot of money to get people to call you. So it's a lot less leads, but it's a lot more expensive. Okay? Does that make sense? This is your lead follow-up roadmap.